So my name's Matt Palermo. I'm a singer-songwriter from Syracuse, New York originally. Currently live in New York City. Uh, Balance being an accountant with being a songwriter. It's a very wacky kind of dual world that I live in, but I love it. I've always loved rock music. I don't know what. Even when I was younger, I got into it really early. I mean, my parents exposed me to the Beatles pretty early on. Like probably when I was like 4 or 5, I was listening to like the Beatles' greatest hits. I had a Frank Sinatra cassette tape and the Lion King soundtrack, and it was a pretty solid rotation for a 4-year-old. So that was kind of my music backbone, and then from there just kind of started kind of funny. I started with oldies, I guess, which is a little strange. Listened to a lot of like late 50s, 60s, like early rock and roll stuff. I actually have a vivid memory. I think it was in 3rd grade, and I was at the CD store, and I wanted a copy of Rolling Stones' Hot Rocks, which I don't think I remember like later on in middle school when people really started to get into things like the Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix and Pink Floyd, and so I kind of was laughing to myself, and I was like, I've been listening to this stuff for years. So you guys are just coming to the party. But yeah, music has always been a big part of my life. I've always loved it. It always makes me feel, I don't know, it's just something when I listen to music, I feel, whether you're happy or sad, it kind of like, it's just something I turn to get through the day to day. One of the things that really made me kind of open my eyes to music and sort of being a musician and performing in front of people was I went to a Billy Joel concert when I was a sophomore in high school. He came up and played the Carrier Dome in 2006. And I think that was probably my first concert experience where, I'd been to concerts and musicals before, but there's something about like you kind of hit that high school phase, that teenage phase, and you really start to internalize like the power of music and kind of what it really can do to people. And just seeing someone that I had listened to a lot of and was one of my big artists that I really liked close to home, and just seeing that sort of spectacle of a show really opened my eyes, and I think it kind of put that itch in me to be like, damn, I really want to do that. I really want to write songs that get people as excited and make people feel as good as people like Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty have done. I think that's kind of the driving force behind wanting to write songs, is that you want to pass that on to the audience. You want to have people have the same reaction that you have to music as a musician. It's very, it's kind of like you kind of want to keep giving it out to people, and that's really what a driving force behind why I love to write songs, and I love to record songs, and I love to put them online and pass them off to people and see what people think, because it really it's really cool to put yourself out into the world and have people listen and react to things that you think. I played music in middle school and high school, and it was something I did in school. It was fun, but I wasn't really. I probably wasn't as engaged as I am now. I think probably around I think the Billy Joel concert really set in motion some things for me. It said like I should get more into rock music, and so at first I learned how to play piano, which was great because piano, everything is like the theory is laid out in a nice row and everything works. You can see very clearly how everything works together. And after a couple years of playing piano and getting the theory and learning, like some pop rock songs on piano and things like that, I was listening to a lot of classic rock at the time and modern rock too. So it was only a matter of time before I asked my parents for a guitar. And then once I got a guitar, it was kind of like the first thing I did was sort of look at it and go, well, how do I make what I know on the piano happen on the guitar? and there was a lot of it was a long time for you. I feel like guitar is one of those things where it's the learning curve. You're down here for a while and you're like, boy, I suck. And boy, I can't really get anything going. And for the longest time, like even just changing chords is hard. And I just remember like, you know, I had a few lessons with teachers, but they were showing me a lot of things I could see online. And so I said, well, I know theory. All I need to do is just figure out how to make the theory translate to the guitar. And I just started working towards that. I think musically I worked my way up from starting as a young age listening to 50s and 60s pop rock to coming in through the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through to the present, and then, you know, working way back again because there's no, you know, because why not? And I know people, there's a lot of, I don't know, if you Google rock music, you'll see about 20 articles telling you that rock is dead, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think there's a lot of great rock music being made right now. It may not be in the spotlight like it was in the late 60s and through the 70s, but there's a lot of great bands out there doing a lot of cool things. And it's just because it doesn't dominate pop music like rap does now, it doesn't mean that rock is dead. Bought this guitar on July 4th, I believe. 2009, I want to say, yeah. Is there anything more American than buying a Fender guitar on July 4th? It's also when Guitar Center has some good sales. But, yeah, I painted my cousin's fence. So I was saving up money for an electric, and that's how I financed this baby.